person that probably does not like diamonds, and finished jewelry as well. Her interest in diamonds was sparked by her father, who was a diamond setter early on. She has been in business for almost 3 decades, serving independent retailers, designers, and important brands around the country. And her favorite part about the diamond business is selling private clients for gemstones, which I know she spoke to about in her windfall earlier today, and designing custom pieces, which I know she's done for a few of our clients here. She lives in Larchmont, New York, has a 20-year-old son who lives in Delaware with his wife, and her daughter, Ariel, who works also in the business. And when Karen is not working, she wants to be fishing. So I think there's a fishing rod somewhere outside that she's been fancy to get her hands on. So with no further ado, Karen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I really do have a very, very cool job. I love what I do. And before I take you into the world of diamonds, I want to tell you a little bit about how I got into it, because it's a good story with a pretty good, well, it's not an ending, but a good ending. Am I moving forward? I'm not moving. This is here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So I actually went to the Art Institute of Chicago and wanted to be a painter. And while I was there, I studied some jewelry making. And anyway, I ended up coming out with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree and needed to get a job. And being a painter was not going to support me. So I decided I would sit next to my father and learn stone setting, which meant sitting at a bench using special tools and setting diamonds in jewelry. So it was very specific, and it was really a craft that I loved doing. But about a year in, I decided this really wasn't for me and wanted to move on. And so I applied for a job at Tiffany Company the old-fashioned way, walking into human resources and filling out an application. And I landed a job in the buying offices in the engagement jewelry category, buying diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and sapphires. I did that for many years, and I loved it, but it was the corporate world, and I ended up having my son, Max, and decided I wanted more family time, so I thought that opening my own diamond business would give that to me, which was completely crazy. But I did it blindly. Opened up my business. It's almost 3 decades later. And that really catapulted me into what I'm doing today, which is selling high-end independent retailers, designers, manufacturers. And the beginning of my career and ending it, leaving off with Tiffany, kind of led me into the higher end because I had the vendors and I had the client base. And so that really gave me a great start. And here I am, doing what I love, which is selling diamonds. So that's how I started my career on my own. What makes us special? Well, we're really the beginning of the food chain. So diamonds are mined. They come out of the ground looking like rocks and pebbles, and they're sent to a select amount of people around the globe who polish them, and then they are distributed to us. So we're the beginning of the food chain, meaning we're not the middleman. They're mined, they're cut, they're sent to us, and then we sell them to people around the globe. Some really high-end brands and designers, manufacturers, and independent retailers. We also work with a select amount of private clientele, sourcing gemstones from around the world and really building out beautiful custom-made jewelry. And our focus on that is not only making really beautiful jewelry, but also really making sure that our clients are making good investments, and we're really helping them select the best gemstone for their, I guess, for their budget and what they're looking to get out of the actual project themselves. And I'm going to mention that we only sell 100% natural diamonds, which is something that we really are sticking to. The industry is changing a lot, and selling lab-grown diamonds has become a very big thing in our industry. But because of how we feel about our clients and taking care of them and protecting our investments, we only sell 100% natural diamonds. So that's what makes us special amongst the many things that we sell. Why diamonds? Diamonds are a girl's. Yes, they are. I mean, they're pretty amazing things to work with. They signify love and strength. They're also the hardest substance on earth. They're also pretty cool in the fact that they're over 1 billion years old, and I don't really know of anything else that you'd be able to hold in your hand that's that old. And they also, you know, give off an incredible rainbow of colors and light when lights shine on them, and they're amazing to work with. They make people really happy. When you talk about, or when people talk about diamonds, the 4 C's always comes up. And I'm just going to touch a little bit on each of the 4 C's because there's a lot of technical details, but I think it's really important to go through each one. And of course, it really depends on what your goals are and what you're buying and your investment and what you want to get out of it. So color is visual. It's graded from D to Z. Anything below Z is, you get into fancy colors like yellow, blues, greens, pinks, which are much more costly in some instances and super rare, but also great investments. Then we go to clarity. We grade clarity under 10 power magnification, and that sort of describes or puts a grade on what's going on inside the actual gemstone. We always recommend that our clients buy something that's eye clean, and eye clean means literally to the eye you cannot see anything. It really depends on the type of product you're buying, but overall eye clean, like if you're buying a pair of stud earrings, you obviously have a very happy smiley face in between, and so you're not seeing the inclusions because you have this head and it's on your ears. So it's a little bit more forgiving than when you're buying an engagement product. You don't want to look down at your hand and say, oh my goodness, I can see a black inclusion or I can see something. So again, that eye clean comes into play. Carat weight is all about the size of the diamond. And you have to keep in mind that carat weight is not like buying coffee. So if you buy 1 pound of coffee, 2 pounds of coffee, 3 pounds of coffee, it's always the same price. Where when you're buying a diamond, even if you're comparing the same color and clarity like a GVS1, as you go up in size, it goes up incrementally in price. So a 1 carat GVS1 is not going to be the same price as a 2 carat GVS1. And that's where we guide our clients a lot as to what they're getting, their value, carat weight, clarity, color. And then finally, the last C, which I personally think is the most important, is the cut of the diamond. And in this picture, you can see how light goes into the diamond and reflects out. So if you're buying the best color diamond, like a D color diamond and a flawless diamond, if it is not cut properly, it will not refract the light properly, and it will leak. On the image all the way on your right, you can see how it enters the stone and bounces back up, and that's ultimately what you want. So you want the best cut diamond regardless of its color and clarity, and that's what we actually specialize in, is better cut goods. Pro tips for buying the best diamonds. Reputable dealer, a wholesaler like ourselves. Always know when to make compromises. So whether it's, and we do recommend buying a better diamond in a smaller size, and really just understanding the investment part of it, what you're getting for the amount of money that you're spending. Always, always, always have something that's GIA certified that's over 1 carat and above. So all these tips about diamonds are really fantastic, but if you're not putting it into a piece of jewelry, then I don't know that you're totally enjoying it. If you buy it for an investment purpose and just put it in the safe, that's great, but it's always really nice to have jewelry and be able to enjoy it, and that's what we do. So these are just some pictures of some very classic things that we offer. There's a reason why they're classics. They're timeless. And it's really about building, I think, to begin with, a classic so-called wardrobe of diamond jewelry. So whether it's diamond wedding bands, bracelets, the image all the way on your right of loose diamonds, that's for stud earrings, layered necklaces. I think those are just classics that you should always have as you build your diamond jewelry wardrobe. If you already have your classic wardrobe of diamond jewelry, which I like to say, it's always fun to do a modern twist on things or do something a little bit more creative to freshen things up. And this is a sample of a bracelet we made for a client where I think you could see the ombre of color, so it goes from white to gray to black. And it just gives it a really nice modern twist on a very classic design. One of the other things that we do a lot of is custom engagement rings. And something that we really focus on is showing you a lot of loose diamonds in different shapes and sizes so that you're able to select something that really suits your style. This is really a sample of how the process goes with looking at loose stones. So the image on your left is of 6 different ovals. And I think you can see the differences in shapes in the stones. So the top oval on the right is more elongated, where the one underneath it is a little bit more shaped like an egg. And I think it's really all about style and your personal choice when you're looking at stones, and that's how we take you through the process so that you can pick out the stone that fits your style. Same thing on the emerald cuts on the right. The one all the way on the right side is a little bit more square. The other ones are a little bit more elongated. But it's really about picking the stone that speaks to you. We're only going to show you certain stones that meet certain specs for an investment purpose, but then you're going to pick what fits your style, and we're going to build around that. So there is a process that we go through that involves you in each part of building a piece. And it's really nice because you can be involved or not involved as you like, but the beginning of it starts with a sketch or maybe an inspirational picture of what you're interested in. And then we create something called a CAD rendering, which is computer-aided design. Then you choose 3. Oh, left? All right, I'm gonna move it along, sorry. We create a wax version of that so you can try it on, and you get to be part of the full process. This is, if you can dream it, we can make it. I wanted to show you the full scope of what we can do. We could do that fancy diamond ring or something really creative. This was inspired by an artist friend / client. The painting is The Kiss. That was his inspiration. He did a sketch. He picked out all the gemstones. We created the piece. Just shows you huge scope of our work. Giving your old jewelry new life. If you have things laying around in a drawer that you don't wear or enjoy, give it to us. We'll restyle it. We'll redesign it. We'll scrap your old gold and put that towards the purchase of a new product, and just recycle your old gold as well if you're interested. These are some before and afters. You can see the ring on the left is a very 70s-ish style ring, and we made it into 2 band rings. A little bit of a fresh new look. People have some really old pieces that they've inherited that have been heirlooms in their family that just are worn out and cannot be repaired anymore. Sometimes we're able to restore it. Sometimes we just duplicate the exact same ring, but we can literally make a duplicate of something that is a treasure of your family's. We usually charge a $250 design fee, but being that it's the Arif show, sorry, I had to say that. We're waiving that $250 fee, and we'd love to just show you what's possible with some of your older things that you want to freshen up. That's it. Thank you for joining me in my world of diamonds.